Virginia, I think they both meet that geopolitical advantage that I see and that I believe in. I was originally an Al Gore supporter in 1988. Again, you know, a man from Tennessee. So as much as I admire Hillary Clinton, as powerful of a candidate as they are, they've never lost a campaign, I don't believe. I just don't think Southerners and Westerners will vote for a New England Democrat for president.
Now, why is that? Why can we vote for somebody because of his or her personality characteristics? Why we would vote to somebody who allies with our origin or region?
Well, I think it has to do with comfort, Dr. Seyam. I think this is part of the reason why we ended up, unfortunately, with President George W. Bush. As is often said, he is someone that many people would feel comfortable drinking a beer with after work. And that's the way he strikes many people, even though his ideology is diametrically opposed to most things that working families need. And so when we look for a candidate for president to support, most of us in the Midwest and the South, you know, feel differently about values than California and Hollywood, as well as New England and you know, New York, and most of us don't identify ourselves that way. And it's unfortunate because I think there's a lot of good people from those parts of the country.
Right.
But I think it's a question of comfort. Who we vote for people that we feel are like ourselves.
Do you believe Democrats and Republicans are some kind of like brainwashed or prejudiced by default? I'm Republican 100%, or I'm a Democrat 100%. I'm going to go with that party or that party, regardless of the issues.
I think there is certainly a certain percentage of people in both parties that do that and feel that way. I would say the majority of people probably vote for you know, one or two people from the other party, though they'll still predominantly vote for candidates from their own party. But again, I think people are doing what feels comfortable to them.
Right.
And this is why I think it's so difficult to reverse trends with the party in power, because the electorate really has to feel upset and has to feel that there is definitely time for a change. And 2006, I think, is going to be one of those years.
Do you see, I'm going to use the word convert, do you see more Republicans becoming Democrats or more Democrats becoming more Republican?
I have personally been aware of several dozen Republicans in the Wichita community.
I'm one of them.
That is correct, and who have changed party affiliations from a Republican to the Democratic Party. This began in my own recollection with Lieutenant Governor John Moore, who was a Republican when Governor Sebelius invited him to run with her.
I see.
Paul Morrison is our Attorney General candidate. For 16 years, he was a Republican prosecutor in Johnson County. He is now a Democrat.
I see.
But folks like you have also switched parties. We have a candidate for the state legislature named Dr. Walt Chappell, who was a Republican until about 2 months ago, and he is now one of our candidates.
What's the main reason? Is it today? Is it President Bush?
I think it's President Bush, Vice President Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld. I think it's the war in Iraq. I think it is the feeling that many people have that even though Wall Street seems to be doing well at the moment, or relatively well, that's not trickling down to the rest of us. And so people are feeling in their pocketbooks that something's wrong.
I do have a caller. TJ, good evening.
Hi, Nabil. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
All right, just great. Mr. Johnston, is that the last name?
Yes, sir.
Well, I was sitting here and listening to you, and I'm a Democrat. I don't know if I'm a liberal or conservative. I don't even know what I am anymore.
Okay.
To tell you the truth, I vote Democratic when I vote, because that was the party. I'm almost 60 now, and the Democratic Party used to be the party of the people, and I'm one of the people. But even I am getting a little bit tired of this partisanship, not getting anything done in Congress, not only at the national level, but at the state level. I mean, it just seems like this is a divided country, and it seems like there's a civil war going on here, at least politically, because it's a 50-50 thing. And there's red states and there's blue states, and what I wanted to know, or what I wanted to just throw out there a question, just a philosophical question. Do you think? George Bush said he was a great uniter. Well, he has done nothing but divided this nation more than it's ever been. It's split right down the middle. Well, it may be leaning more towards the Democratic side politically, because he's lost so much support and everything, even in his own party. But do you ever think that there will be another political candidate or a statesman, like JFK was, or even as much as I hate to say it, Ronald Reagan was? Do you ever see somebody like that coming down the road anymore?
That's a good question.
TJ, I do, and I think a excellent example of someone who has that kind of charisma, that kind of independence, and that kind of intelligence and vision is Senator Barack Obama from Illinois. I had the pleasure of meeting Senator Obama in Topeka in February at our State Democratic Party convention, and he is a captivating speaker. He is full of energy and new ideas. He is also someone who isn't afraid to buck the trend, and isn't afraid to do what he thinks is right, even if people who have been in office longer than he counsel him otherwise. And this is a prescription for a leader who can lead this entire country. I'm very encouraged and very hopeful about his political career. But these kinds of candidates start in local office all across the country. And I believe that there are people like that here in Sedgwick County right now. Whether they can succeed to the degree that would be necessary to become a congressman someday, it's difficult to say. But we as voters, I think, can recognize who those people are. We don't see them real often, but I think we all know who they are when we do see them. And I think our governor is one of those people. And I think our Attorney General candidate, Paul Morrison, is one of those people. But you are right, sir, that nothing is getting done. And I think the most obvious reason why nothing is getting done in this country politically right now is because the Republican Party controls Congress, the Republican Party controls the presidency, the Republican Party controls both chambers of the Kansas legislature.